Hey everyone, welcome back to Ebony with Genghis. Emergency broadcast, eh? Wow, our pan's bad. So, wow, we got I went to bed at around 11 p.m., so 4 more hours left in the event, and we were at 4.7K in the pans. Um, Whew, it's terrible out there. So let's take a look at how we're doing today and Alliance rankings. We're at 1.5K. This is 7 hours in, so I guess times three, we're going to end up about the same, 5K. Really ugly. Evony, I assume, is trying to, take away the resource, slow people down in their building. Maybe the plan was to get people addicted to resources from Ymers. Maybe the plan was, just not to do this, but they thought people are growing too fast because of alts and bots, and they figured if we take alts or bots away from people, people will quit. So let's just slow them down this way. So if you're gonna coin, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday. Amazon App Store has an amazing 20% discount. Check it out. It is the best thing going on the purchasing scheme right now. But I don't know, man. Like, purchasing from Evony right now is difficult, but if you're gonna do it smart. That's, I don't know, coin strike during pans, maybe that's where it is. This week isn't too bad, but because of neons still give a lot. But look at these chests. I haven't opened a single one. Normally this time I'd have about 180, 220 for the top Ymer chest. I'd have probably about 250 there. I'd probably have about 310 there, and then these ones I'd have like 500. And the thing is, like, there's supposed to be more speeds, and there is, but the fact that you get so much more quantity of Evony chests makes this speed argument from Evony just dumb. It's just we're not dumb. Like, you're lying to us, and it doesn't make sense. But because neons are still on the map, it's okay, right? Like, we still have bosses to kill. But man, when, wow, I don't even want to think, like, when pans once in a while are going to get paired with turtles and golems. You know how ugly that is going to be? When it's warlords and witches, okay, maybe because pans are an event, it will make warlords and witches spawn at a higher rate, and they give 1.5 million for level 3 and then 2 and 2 basically for 4 and 5. So that's okay, like, we can live with that. But if they keep pans on Thursday, Friday and don't bring back Ymers, wow, is it ever going to be ugly out there? So I don't know. There's also rumors out there that K45 has been released on beta. I personally think this is a lie, because there'd be images. People on beta love to show, hey, look what we got. They like that. So we haven't seen it. But if it is, maybe this is Evony's way of saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to suck the resource out of you so that when we drop the next big update, we don't have people going auto 45 overnight. Like, I remember when K40 dropped, I got to, I think, 37 instantly because of the resource and speeds I had saved up. Within like a week, Rhythm and Sir Philip were K40. And then probably about a month later, you started to see like one guy on a server who was K40. And then 2 months later, 4 or 5 people on the better servers. And now, like, we are 1 year, I think it was November. So we're 13 and a half months after the K40 update. And like, who's not K40, right? Like, you got people at C5 who've been playing 8 months, 6 months, and they're K40 like instantly. So, subscriber was telling me, where it's really unfair is going to be on C5. Like, you're going to go into Shalons and All-Stars, and you're going to have people who had Ymers for, 6 months, 8 months, versus people who've now, they've been playing for 2 months, and they've had Ymers like 3 times. Right? And then they're only going to get it every 2 times. So that advantage is really going to kick people in the nuts. Like, I had a goal going into next All-Stars. Like, I'm 18 bill. I was hoping to be like 35. That was a big dream, right? Like high end goal. But maybe I'd end up around like 31. Now, I don't know if I'll get to 25 if this keeps up. Like this is cutting people's resources. Like you have people who are getting 25 billion a week each, which I know, so if you're not getting it, you're going to be like, "Oh, boo-hoo." But those people are going to go down to, like 10 a week average because they're only going to get their Yemer stuff and then the other stuff. So what can we do about this? Bombard Evony with complaints. First of all, that's the first thing you got to do. Number two, is can a pan week coin strike be organized? Yeah, right? Like people hold out on those weeks and send a message saying we are not going to be coining on these weeks. And then other things you can do, you can make your family members better at farming. Bring back gathering. Let's make gathering great again, right? Send them out. Save stamina. Only use stamina with your family members on Yemer weeks. Don't waste it on these pans where you're getting 50% of the resources and you don't need the speeds. And it's just a lot of effort. That's the biggest thing. The time wasted looking for bosses, like we have nothing. It's so hard to find any out there. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on pans. Like I heard there are some servers, some people in my comments. I don't know if they're just like trolling, but they said they still have Yemers, that they did not receive the pan Yemer rotation email, and they're still getting Yemers every week. So if you are, good for you. I can't be jealous because I always want good things for me. I'd be laughing if we had it and no one else did. But super unfair if that is happening. This is like how Evony gave Flame Cerberuses to some people but not others, and then they gave debuff books and different stuff to, but the inconsistency is the problem because those impacts last a long time. So if some of these servers are going to get Yemers nonstop still and Evony's just testing, then, obviously they're going to start to gain on people or pull away. But my guess is Evony's reason for this is it's always money. They are doing a test right now to see, hey, we pull back the resources. Are people going to start coining more because they want to make up those resources? Like they created an addiction to resources, right? But think of how this is going to impact people. So people are not going to have as much resources to grow, so they're going to have to make a tough choice, buildings or troops. They're not going to be doing both anymore. And then what about those speeds? You're not going to be able to have the speeds to do the sciences and buildings at the same time. So you're going to have to make a choice between that as well, right? So if you choose buildings, you can't do science because you don't have speeds. And then you can't do troops because you don't have resources. So I don't know. When I was in that situation before, I chose science and buildings. But I think that was the wrong choice. I should have went science and troops instead of going K40. I should have just became like 13 billion with K39 as opposed to K40, 7 billion. So I don't know. But the other thing too is tactic scrolls, right? Like with pans, if you're getting 25% of the pan chest compares to the Yemers, you're not getting 2K tactics scrolls a week anymore. You're going to get like 300. So that's another thing Evony's squeezing people on. So I don't know. Send them as much feedback as you can. Let them know you're not happy. But always, talk with your pocketbook. That is the number one way that Evony does listen. So anyways, Genghis, like, subscribe, leave a comment.